Thank you very much, everybody, for attending our English Buddhism meeting today. So we are going to talk about the power of ichinen, which is very, very important to help us live a happy and successful life. To begin, what is ichinen? Ichinen is one's instant of thought or the mind at a single moment or instant. Also, life moment, thought moment, or simply a large moment or instant. Ichinen also specifies the functioning of the mind for one moment. Ichinen indicates the mind of an ordinary person, which at each moment is endowed with the potential of 3,000 rhymes. Its characteristics are: 1. It pervades the entire universe. 2. It includes both body and mind. 3. It includes both self and environment. 4. It gives rise to good and evil. 5. It encompasses cause and effect simultaneously. So it's got all the above characteristics. Below, I'm quoting an article by Linda Johnston, a very senior member in USA. She had written about an article on ichinen. So I'm sharing some of the contents with you. She says, ichinen means to pray without doubt. As SGI member, we have made a commitment to help other people and ourselves change. And this process is called human revolution. The only reason we take on responsibility is that we continue to make a commitment to help other people and ourselves change their life through Nichiren Daishonen's Buddhism. Each of us is a life coach, and our job is to teach people and ourselves how to win in life. The job is coaching, helping everyone, including us, to keep expanding our lives' capacity. This requires us to constantly use our life to challenge, to go beyond what is comfortable. Growth is uncomfortable. It means stretching beyond what you think you can do. Getting out of your comfort zone, we must grow beyond expecting it to be easy. There is a difference between not being easy and having to suffer. How can we use our life to help people and ourselves change? Growth can be a joyful challenge. President Ikeda's definition of ichinen in 1996. He talked about what happened when he became president in 1960. He looked at everybody without any arrogance. He said, "When I became the third president of Soka Gakkai, the organization was in financial debt. There were 3 rundown headquarters buildings in Japan. There were 6 staff members. That's it. Those were the conditions under which I assumed the presidency alone. Today, there are 1,300 community and cultural centers in Japan alone." Now, we are talking about 1996 at that time, okay? Our finances are very secure. We have established the soccer school system. Even more than that, Buddhism has spread from Japan to 136 countries. Now 165. Again, we're talking about 1996, around the world. He said, "I'm telling you this for one reason only. This is what the ichinen of one person can do." There was absolutely no arrogance in him. He was trying to share the power of prayer, the power of ichinen, such that Shoten Senjin would emerge. He was trying to shake up each one of us. We have the same potential. We accept way too little. Linda Johnson continued. She said, "Last year, I went to Japan. When we arrived, I wrote a memo to President Ikeda. I truly believe He has X-ray vision. There is no point in pretending. He sees it anyway. I might as well let it all hang out. As a result of recent appointments, this is Linda Johnson talking, Southern California Song leader, Matilda Bucks Vice WD, plus a big job, supervising 8 attorneys for the government, I was feeling overwhelmed. Every time I would chant about this responsibility, I kept going back to this guidance. Somehow, I knew this was my answer. It wasn't about how many places I could visit. It was about prayer. So I wrote in my memo, Sensei, I came back for you to explain about ichinen at a deeper level. I need it in my life. I need to understand ichinen better. I never got to speak with him personally, but at dinner, President Ikeda started talking. Ichinen means to pray without doubt. Whenever you pray without doubt, all your prayers will be answered. This is the kind of prayer Nichiren Daishonin is talking about. Buddhism equals actual proof. He was strict with us. If you are not showing actual proof, you are not practicing correctly. He talked about faith. It is invisible. It is only revealed through your behavior as a human being. He challenges all of us to go for all our dreams and win. Because the other people who watch your example must be able to say, hey, this Buddhism is great. This made an impact on my life. I started chanting a lot about ichinen. I realized that in addition to our moving our bodies, the first thing is to pray. To take responsibility with our prayer that we are all going to win. Prayer without doubt. With my prayer, I will ensure that everyone will win, no matter what. At a cultural department meeting, a man got up to share his experience. The year before, he was diagnosed with cancer, terminal cancer. After many years of practice, his diagnosis caused him to lose all hope. He lost such hope that he shut everyone out of his life. He went to bed, waiting to die. Fortunately, a women's division chapter leader showed up. She made such huge noises that he had to open the door. She barged in on him and started talking to him. She convinced him to chant with her. He hadn't chanted in weeks. She made him sit in front of the Gohonsen, and she sat in the back of him. Failure was not an option for her. They didn't chant very long, maybe 30 minutes. While they were chanting, he literally got hot inside. He felt heat enter his body from his back. All his physical stuff started happening. When they got done, his will to fight for his life was reawakened. He went to see the doctor. It was a very bleak environment. He went in and said, I want to thank you for everything you're going to do to try to save my life. Even if you don't succeed, I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart. The doctor was so shocked. He talked to him for a full hour. Then, even though this doctor had many other appointments waiting, they started a full course of treatment. Ultimately, this man was diagnosed as cancer-free. F-R-E-E. Through his life and example, we can see how this woman's ichinen woke him up. She poured her life into it. She didn't go there with the attitude of, hey, I'm here to encourage you, but what you do is up to you. If we encounter relationship problems, let us realize that people teach us through negative example of how not to be, as powerful as how to be. Some people's mission is to teach through negative example. Our problem is that we don't want to see them at all. We don't get that they are a teacher on how to help us to be better. The reason we are there, experiencing this problem, is because it is our mission to find out the solution and to learn. The solution is never ever waiting for the other person to change. If we do, we miss our own opportunity to do human revolution. There was a person whose sister had a child killed by a drunk driver. The sister spiraled downward in grief. This member was in pain, watching her sister. She was feeling very helpless. She thought, "What can I do?" And she said, "What can I do?" Vice President Hagasawa's guidance was, "It is our mission to find a solution. The answer is only inside of our life." Then a prayer emerged. She said, "I would take responsibility through my prayer that my sister would be able to win over her own weaknesses." So when we look at another human being, we just see them in one moment of their process of going through their human revolution. At this moment, they may be controlled by the dark side of their life. We usually criticize them, saying they are not doing their best. But it is not about someone doing their best. That is not what it's all about. Sometimes things are so deep in our life, so there's a process we have to go through. We have to understand that he or we are working on our weaknesses. We can chant that he or they or I will have a breakthrough. Now, this is different than just chanting for happiness. We can't win until we change our attitude of judgment into compassion. Do we know that sometimes we are also judgmental of ourselves? Nam Myoho Renge Kyo is so powerful. You can reach anyone in the universe. Study the Gosho. Believe Nichiren Daishonin when he tells you that it can change unchangeable karma. Don't just sit back and observe the problem of ourselves and others, but pretty sure and ensure that there will be and there should be a breakthrough. As members of SGI, we have the responsibility and obligation not to be bystanders. We have to use our ichinen to ensure that each person, including us, has a victory. With that prayer, we are helping another human being and ourselves to win. We become alive. We become invincible, not shaken by obstacles, by using our life to help everyone win. This is vital and crucial. Our only function is to help other people and ourselves grow, win, and be happy. In order to do that, we must let go of control. People can't grow if we keep denying them opportunity. No matter how good we think we are, someone gave us an opportunity at some point to help us grow. So why do we expect others to be great at the very beginning? Like raising children, sometimes we have to let go and give them an opportunity to fall, learn, and grow. And this will also help us learn and grow, because letting go is an important part in our practice to attain absolute happiness. Letting go doesn't mean to let them rise or fall on their own. We use our ichinen, but not with our mouth or our behavior. Ensure their success with our prayer. When we do that, practice becomes more fun for us. We start to realize that we have the solution to every problem As for Kosen Rufu, let's adopt this attitude, saying that I will take 100% responsibility for everybody's success and happiness. Practice will become more enjoyable for everyone. It creates freshness in the organization, which should be improving all the time. Buddhism is about creativity and constant growth. No matter how sensitive we think we might be, we never really know what it is like to walk in that person's shoes. It's hard to know another person's pain and suffering. When encouraging others, please do not judge other people's pain and suffering using our own standards. For example, to a rich person, $10 is nothing. However, to a beggar, $10 means food and survival. When we see someone suffer and we want to encourage, compassion should always come first. It is from interacting with others that we expand our own reality. People force us to view things from a broader perspective. Some of us don't want to go for guidance, and they say, I know what they will say, chant. But we must change this attitude. The purpose of guidance is to send us back to the Gohonzen with a new attitude. We cannot always do that for ourselves because maybe we are too proud, or maybe we don't have faith, or we are losing hope. But we don't realize ourselves because we cannot see it. We cannot see our eyebrow with our eyes. Therefore, we need someone else to address our problems and point us back to the right direction. Therefore, please do not think that we don't want to get guidance because we think we already know what they are going to say, that is, chant. We need at least one good friend, someone you could share your most painful feeling with. You know that person will never reject you. We need someone who can always help us back on track. A lot of times, we can't see our own negativity. And we can always find this good friend within our SGI community. We must challenge ourselves to grow. We need someone to be strict with us to challenge us to grow. She went on to say, never give up on your dreams. It is vital that we go for our dreams. As women, we are born nurturers. The weak side of nurturers is that we sometimes lose ourselves. This is wrong. Flip the order and put yourself first. This is not selfish. Only in going for our dreams do we have the motivation to get out of bed with enthusiasm. We can't do it because of other people's stuff. The burning passion inside your own belly is what moves you. It adds a whole dimension of excitement to your life. When you give up on your dreams, you give up on yourself. Now, talking about my own experience. A long time ago, I had a lot of problems trying to help family members to the extent that I suffer more than they do. So a friend said, Lydia, look at you. All your sisters are healthy and strong. You are the only weak person. So if you suffer on their behalf, and if you get sick and die, you are no good to anybody. And that woke me up. So I should not be, risking my life trying to help other people. That is no good. See, if we are on a plane, if something happens, the oxygen mask came down, and we were told to secure the oxygen mask on yourself before you help other people. So it is important that we help ourselves first before we help other people. So I'll go on with Linda Johnson's story. On TV, I saw a story about a woman's experience when her husband left. She cleaned her house. It was her dream to teach. She went to school and is now graduating. She is in her 50s because it took many years. She will be speaking at the commencement ceremony. She says, "You can never give up on your dreams because when you do, you give up on yourself." When you are suffering and challenging life for whatever reason, it is very difficult for those people around you. People closest to you get the worst of you, but they deserve the best, not the worst. If you put yourself last, then you are not happy and they get your worst. However, when you are pursuing your dreams, happiness radiates out of you, and others around you will become happy too. Only with struggles can we win over ourselves and encourage others. It is our experience that allows us to have the conviction in the power of prayer and take that conviction and put it in someone else's life. Some leaders share everybody's experiences instead any of their own. You feel nothing coming from their life. Now it's me talking again. Long time ago, I attended a very, very senior member's study meeting. She was teaching everybody about all the theories, but he looks so unhappy. And I asked him, "Have you ever chanted for your happiness?" And he looked at me with a very bewildered look, as if he had never ever thought of chanting for his own happiness. And as a result, he gave all the wrong theories and teachings to a lot of young people, causing them to suffer, and at the end he also suffered. James Herman quoted, "A fate greater than death is to be dead, but still alive." When we give up on our dreams, we are accepting slow death. I don't believe we become happy merely because we chant, or chant for a certain number of years. Now it's very important, please listen. We become happy because we decide. This means ichinen. We decide we are going to, and then chant for that decision. Failure is no longer an option. I have decided, ichinen again, that the obstacle will not win. When we make that decision, fueled by prayer, our life transforms, changes. If we keep go on accepting, this practice is too hard. Then we will stop practicing and we become unhappy. However, if we change our mindset and say, "I'm taking back control of my life. I refuse to allow suffering to control me," everything immediately changes. Not on the outside, but on the inside. This is how we use ichinen to change our lives. Mrs. Hachia talked with a woman who was failing in her battle with weight loss. Mrs. Hachia gave her lots of advice, then stopped. Don't ever confuse your ability to be happy with losing weight. Lose weight because you choose to do that. It's got nothing to do with your ability to be happy. Don't let the thought or the subject of losing weight affect your happiness. Enlightened just as we are. Nichiren Daishonin clarifies life. Life has two functions: an enlightened side, constructive side, and an unenlightened, destructive side. Nothing in life is all positive or negative. We have it. Everything has it. The circumstances we find ourselves in never define who we are. It is how we choose our nichiren to use our circumstances that we become what we are. Now, having said so much from Linda Johnson's article, I would say that All the above information are theories. But what does it mean in our daily life? In simple words, ichinen means the thought we have in our mind in just one single moment. And this thought can bring forth good or bad. I remember the story of a mother. Now, this is me talking now. I remember the story of a mother who was holding a baby from the baby's coat. At that time, she thought, oh, what if I drop the baby onto the floor? 1 week later, this did happen, and she dropped her baby on the floor. Another example is about my own mother. Years ago, my mother was cleaning her shrine and put incense on the incense burner. She thought, what if I spill the ashes? A few days later, she did spill the ashes. As for myself, my own family, my grandfather had 3 wives, or 2 concubines, and my mother and my father also had a lot of affairs, mistresses, and he even brought in a mistress into our family to become our family member. So back in my mind, I thought that all men are unfaithful. Then a friend said to me, Lydia, if you keep thinking this way, this will happen to you. Well, needless to say, my first husband did have a mistress, ending in my divorcing him. And later, my several boyfriends also proved to be unfaithful. Another good friend of mine once said, when things are going smoothly, I start to wonder whether it will last, or is it too good to be true? Needless to say, he afterwards encountered huge problems in his business. He had to close his business and started to look for employment. All the above just tells us that what goes in our mind will bring forth results as per our thoughts. Most of the time, bad results come forth because our minds are full of negative thoughts. Years ago, after landing in Sydney, I went back to Hong Kong to try to buy all furniture and furnishings for my house in Sydney because I was in the interior design business and it's much cheaper to get things in Hong Kong than in Australia. I had 10 days in Hong Kong to do everything and to buy or order furniture such as sofas, coffee tables, corner tables, dining tables, dining chairs, TV cabinets, bedside tables, bed head, curtains, and even chandelier for the dining room. As soon as I checked into the hotel, I started to get worried, thinking, how on earth can I get all this done in 10 days? I began to panic. However, after chanting, I had a thought in my mind. I think, actually, if I can find the right place and get the right people to help me, 10 days could be a long time. At that time, my hotel was in Wan Chai, and there is a street in Wan Chai which has all the shops selling furniture, curtains, and metal shops. And it was very close to my hotel. So the next day, after chanting, I started to walk along that street. And in a few days, I found all the right shops to either buy or order things that I needed. Even ordered curtain for the whole house. So in 10 days' time, I got my goals achieved. This is how, after chanting and changing my thought, I changed the impossible into possible. If I continue with my negative thought, thinking that it would not be possible, then I'm 100% sure that I will not be able to come across the right people or the right places, because my doubtful thoughts would not even recognize would not help me recognize all the good things or the good people who I come across. I remember reading a cartoon book called I'm Happy. It says that our thoughts, words are very powerful. It says, if we have nothing to say, shut up. It is so true. Action starts from a single thought. If we have bad thoughts, bad ichinen, then our actions will be influenced and we will do or come across bad things. The important thing, therefore, is to be aware of all our bad thoughts. And as soon as they appear, try to counteract them with good thoughts. Use positive thoughts to counteract negative thoughts. For example, if we feel tired, instead of continually complaining or thinking, I'm so tired, the more we think about it, the more tired we will be. But if we start to think that, I wish I have more energy, then the thought of energy will bring forth energy to your body, because our body listens to our minds, and we will feel energetic again. As I have mentioned many times, I had very bad health and was sick all the time. Until one day, I said to the Gohansen, there was not one single day when I wake up and feel good. It had to stop. I wish that I would wake up every morning feeling healthy and happy. Also, one night before I went to bed, I was so exhausted that I said to the Gohansen, in bed, actually we can talk to the Gohansen anytime, anywhere. I said, I wish I have enough energy to do all the things I want to do and to enjoy life. Now, my health has greatly improved and my energy level has gone up. When I was a very young teenager, I had to go for an afternoon nap to be able to go through the rest of the day. But now, even though I have the time and the leisure for an afternoon nap, I don't need it and I don't feel like it. And I can stay up until I go to bed and able to do the things I want to do and to enjoy life. A lot of members and people often say, I'm very sad, I'm very sick, I'm so depressed, I can't do this, I don't deserve, I'm so angry, etc., etc. If we continue to think this way, then we will be more sad, more depressed, more undeserved, and incapable. At that time, why can't we use more positive words and change our ichinen from negatives to positives? For example, if we feel sad or depressed, we can try to think, I want to be happy, and chant to the Gohansen for happiness. If we are sick, we can chant to the Gohansen to get well. And please do not dwell on our sickness. I remember my own sister in London used to feel sick and dizzy every morning when she woke up. Now, please note that it was not because she was pregnant, but she just felt sick, and she complained to me. I then said to her, please do not dwell and think of your sickness. It will go away later on in the day. Please don't think about it at all. She listened, and now she had not complained about her morning sickness anymore. She even woke up at 6 o'clock to take her granddaughter to school and then went to McDonald's for breakfast, having a very good time. So if we think we are incapable, we can change our thinking and say that we are capable. There is a Western saying that says, if you think you can, you can. Long time ago, my elder sister said to me, if you think you cannot do something, then you don't even need to try, because you are bound to fail. Therefore, if we think we are not capable of doing anything, please change your ichinen to, I can do it. And then chant to the Gohansen for the wisdom, courage, and energy to do so. To the Gohansen, which is also within ourselves, nothing is impossible. To be honest, I've known and applied this principle for a long time and have enjoyed lots of success in life. For example, I was in the interior design business when in Hong Kong. After coming to Sydney, due to circumstances, I had to work as a dental assistant and a marketing manager for our dental business. Without any academic training on dentistry and being totally computer illiterate, I had to develop, of course with the help from some computer gurus, I had to develop 4 websites to promote our dental business. To be able to promote our websites on Google and come first on Google search, I had to write lots and lots of articles about teeth, such as what is dental implants, crowns, bridges, root canals, fillings, what causes toothache, different stages of gingivitis, gum disease, and what is good dentistry and what is not. Without any dental training, I was able to do all of that with only asking other dentists and searching on the internet. And as a result, our websites promoted our business and our business prospered. Also at that time, it was very hard to find a good dental assistant. Therefore, I had decided, and that was my ichinen, that I will become one. For the next 3 months, I went into the surgery, just sat down and observed what the dentist and the dental assistant were doing. At the end of the 3 months, I was ready to become a dental assistant and had solved a very difficult problem in not being able to find a good dental assistant. Needless to say, I'm more an arts person and cannot imagine that I can deal with all the medical terms and materials in dentistry. They are quite complicated. But I can tell you that I did it and I enjoyed this job. It all comes down to the fact that nothing is impossible. If you think you can, you can. To end today's meeting, I would really encourage everyone to stop all negative thoughts. And if you cannot stop, please chant to the Gohonsen that you can do so. Because of my upbringing and background, I was a very negative person. An ex-boyfriend of mine, after suggesting several activities, and when I turned them down, he said, "Lydia, why are you so negative?" But after practicing Nichiren Buddhism, knowing that I was a negative person, I chanted to the Gohonsen every day to eliminate all my negative thoughts, words and deeds. And also, knowing the principle of Itchinan, I would try to think of all the good things instead of bad. Because I know that if I think of bad things will come. On the contrary, if we have good thoughts, then good things will come to us. This is how we apply the principle of Itchinan to help us live a happy and successful life.